So straight off the bat, once you open the box, you get a nice little reminder that your product has been inspected and that you have the 1-year warranty with the manufacturer. So that's always nice to see. Now this product is being sold on Amazon under the brand name Kyng, but it looks like its manufacturer is actually Team G. Now Team G is actually a known skateboarding / longboard brand already, and one of their products is called the H5. It looks like the H5 and this board actually resemble a lot of the same specs and a lot of the same details. So there's nothing really flashy about the Kyng's box. It's kind of like a simple look, but once you open it, you can see they really packaged it pretty well, and the board came in looking brand new and everything looked intact. So the board was on Amazon for about $450 and the specs looked amazing. I was really hesitant about buying it at first because when I did a little bit more research on the Kyng brand, there wasn't really much to go off of. Upon further research, I found out that the H5 from the Team G and this board are actually pretty identical, and the manufacturer is Team G, so I decided to give it a shot. So upon first inspection, the board looked so nice and shiny, and I almost felt guilty about trying to give it a test ride, but the wheels and trucks felt really nice and strong and firm. The board didn't really have anything that showed any signs of like cheap material or anything. The only thing that did stick out to me though was the way the grip tape wasn't really wrapped around correctly. It kind of looked like it was kind of rushed. Everything else looked really good. You can clearly see where the power button and the charging port are located. It even came with a nice little cap to make sure nothing but the charger makes contact with the charging port. So the board is actually a dual motor board, racking up a total of 960 watts, and the motors are actually located within the wheels itself, so it's not taking up any more space than it should, and it's just a really clean look. Inside our accessory box, we have your basic T-tool just in case you need to tighten or loosen your trucks or maybe mess with your wheels a little bit. We also have a nose and tail guard just in case you want to keep your board nice and pretty. We find a micro USB cable that we are going to be using to charge the controller, a nice little accessory for lighting in case you need to add any lights in the dark for the board or anything. Then we find our actual remote control and some paperwork. And last but not least, we have our 2-piece charging cable. This thing is not big at all. You can easily fit in your book bag, maybe in your pocket if you're on the go. So this board actually comes with 4 different speed modes. For low, it'll range up to 11 kilometers or 5 miles per hour. For medium, it'll be 24 kilometers or 11 miles per hour. And for high, it'll go up to 41 kilometers or 18 miles per hour. Or high plus, it'll be 41 kilometers, but it actually goes a little bit higher to 22 miles per hour. So this controller is actually pretty cool. On your left side of the screen, you will see a battery percentage for your controller, and on the right side, you'll see a battery percentage for your board. Below that, you're going to see a speedometer that shows you in total of kilometers how much distance you have gone. Then right under that, you'll see your speed gauge. So right now we're at 0 kilometers per hour. And this Kyng board does measure in kilometers per hour instead of miles per hour, but you can just transfer it to miles per hour if you really need to. The controller actually comes with a nice little LED light on top, so if you're ever traveling at night and you need people to see you or you're trying to let people know you're heading a certain way, it comes in handy a lot. So when I was going through the pictures on Amazon, the board to me looked a lot bigger than it was when it came in. So I was going through the pictures thinking, wow, it's a pretty big board. It should fit perfectly for me. When it actually came in, the box was so much smaller than I thought. Initially, when I saw the box, I was thinking it's going to be too small for me. I'm not going to fit on it. I'm 6'2" with a size 12 shoes. So one of my biggest concerns was, am I going to be able to ride it? Once I actually started getting on the board and testing it out, I realized it's pretty good. You know, like it fits me pretty well. The good thing is that you have a lot of space to move with, so it doesn't really matter how big you are. So one of the first things I was curious about was how does the board ride when there's no power? So one of the first tests that I did was just checking to see how much energy or how much effort do I need to put in to just manually push the skateboard. And this street isn't really soft or smooth, it's actually kind of rough. So it was like a pretty nice way of testing it, and the board actually did really well. It was almost no effort to push it. So on this next clip, we're actually checking those speeds now. We're going to start on the low setting just because I wanted to test out how much power it actually has. So I'm about 215 pounds, and the max weight for the board is around 220, 222 pounds. So we started on the low setting, going 5 miles per hour, and the board actually did pretty well. So next we're going to be testing out the second mode, which is the medium on the controller. And I think it tops out at about 11 miles per hour. So we're testing that out, and it actually did pretty well. So this is where it gets interesting. Now we're on the third speed setting, and it's labeled under H for high. And it should be capping out at about 18 miles per hour. And you can really feel the difference in speed. You're not going too fast to the point where you can't control it, but at the same time,